Hi and welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. Now it's time to put everything together and write our for loop in order to extract the information not just of one result but of all 100. Okay, so if you didn't have the chance to watch the first video, please go ahead and do this because it's actually the foundation of this second video here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and find a way how to get access to all the 100 data points, or sorry, 100 rows, and for each row we want to have these 7 data points, which are actually this one here. Okay, so in this cells we have actually grabbed the data of just one result or one row, the first row, and now it's time to grab the data for 100 rows. Okay, so my approach here is the following. First of all, I create empty lists, then I write the for loop, and when we are looping through the results, I want the results to be appended to this empty lists. Okay, so if this sounds confusing, just be with me, it will make sense in a few moments. So we start and we want to create the empty lists here. Okay, so I will provide one comment. So this is these are the empty lists. Okay, here we have the name, we want to have the price, we want to have the change for 1 hour. Okay, then we want to have the change for 24 hours. 24 hours, okay. Then the next one is the change of 7 days, change underscore 7d. Okay. Next is the volume of 24 hours. And finally, we want to have the market cap. Okay, market underscore cap. And here, if I run the cell, we have 7 empty lists. Okay. And now, again, I want to write a loop which is able to loop through all 100 rows. Okay, and when we are looping, we want this data to be extracted, okay, and appended inside this empty lists here. Okay, that means we have, if everything works fine, we should have 100 results for the first list, 100 result for the second list, and so on and so forth. This is the logic. So let's go ahead and use this result iteration variable. So it's for result in results. Okay, again, this is our iteration variable for our for loop, and this results list is where all our results are actually stored. Okay, here we have created this results variable, and here we made use of the length function, and we have seen here that we have 100 entries. Okay, this makes sense because here we also have 100 rows. Okay, so let's proceed. Now here, right, so for result in results, and actually we start with the name. Okay, so it's the name. And what we want to do here is the following. We want to make use of this name list, okay, dot append. And now the question is, what do we want to append actually? We don't have to start from scratch because here we have done already the work. That means I can just, for this name part, I can just go ahead and copy this expression here. Okay, copy that. And I don't have to use, or I don't have to copy this results with the index 0 anymore. Why? Because here we have just made the example for the first coin, and now we use, instead of results 0, we use this iteration variable, this one. And actually with this iteration variable, we want to loop through all the results and not just through the first one. Okay, so let's make use of it. So it's result dot, and now I can just paste what I've copied. Okay, so it's this one, name append result dot find, and this is the expression I've copied. okay, from the example above, and that's it. And actually, it's for this project, it's not directly necessary, but it's always a good practice to use the try and accept block. So every time we have a missing data, we don't get an error message. We want just to append not available inside this list. Okay, so let's see. So try and accept is name.append, and here, if for example again we have a missing data point, we want to append sorry, it's not \n, my mistake, n/a, okay, not available. Again, if we have missing one data point, in this example is, let's say we have one entry without a coin name, this not available will be appended instead of getting an error message. And this is why we can use the try and accept block. Yep, that's it. So this was the example for the name. Okay, everything inside this for loop. And let me just run it. And actually I want to show you how this result can look like. So now we have started with the empty list, and then inside this for loop we have appended our data inside this name list here. Let's print it out and let's see if we have access to all the coin names. And this looks actually good. This definitely looks very, very good. So let's scroll down until the end and let's make use of the length function. And if we have right now the number 100, that means everything worked fine. And voila, we have right now 100 results inside this list here. Okay, just using these few lines. And now we will make a little bit, we'll make it faster. And I will actually apply this whole logic, okay, for all the remaining data points. So I've just copied these lines here. Okay, and I guess I can just remove this unnecessary line. Okay, and again, target or highlight it, copy that, go ahead and paste it. Okay, and now instead of the name, we want to have the price. Okay, so this is our second data point. Now let's scroll up and let's see how this expression can look like. So here we have actually written this expression in order to get the price for the first result. Now I can just copy it, go back down, and here I can replace the old expression, okay, with the new one. Okay, so this looks good. And instead of name, we want the price. Okay, so copy the price, double click on the name, paste it here, and just replace the old value with the new one. Okay, again, let's make another cross check and see if these price points were appended right now inside this list. And this also looks good. Now we have hopefully 100 different prices. Let's see. Okay, awesome. So now can make life easier and just make everything a little bit faster, because the logic will actually apply for all remaining 5 data points. Okay, let's go ahead, copy the price, paste it here, and now replace the old the old values with the new values. Okay, so change 1 hour, and here I can just copy this one, copy that, paste it here, and we also have to replace the old expression here for this 1 hour change. Okay, scroll up, 1 hour change is this one, copy that, go back down, replace the old one with the new one. That's it. Next, copy again these lines, paste it here. Now we have change of 24 hours. Okay, copy that, replace all the old value with the new one, paste it here, and replace the old expression. Okay, so 24-hour change is this one. Copy that, this, back down, and replace the old one with the new one. That's it. Next, copy, paste, and instead of change 24 hours, right now we want to target the change of the 7 days. So copy that, go back down, and you see, guys, this is actually a quite repetitive task, but I don't want to pause the video. I want just to continue and yeah, complete this whole project together with you. Okay, so 7-day change, we have to copy this expression here, copy that, go back down, and now the old one should be replaced with the new one. That's it. Next, volume 24 hours, but first let's copy these lines, paste it here, and now copy this 24 hours, back down, replace the old one with the new one, and now also this expression here, it's this one. Okay, copy that, back down, paste it here, and finally we have the market cap. Okay, so copy, paste. Now let's make use of this market cap here. Awesome. And finally the expression, and this is this example here. Copy, back down, paste it here. Okay, now this should actually work if we don't have, or if I don't have messed something up. Let's see, let's run the cell. Okay, we don't have an error message, and this looks actually good. So let me just remove this example with the price. And in the next step, what we need to do is we have to create the Pandas data frame. And actually I want to use this a variable here because this makes sense. Let's say crypto_df, so crypto_dataframe. And now we can make use of the Pandas data frame, and this is what we have actually imported with this line. Okay, so PD is the common abbreviation for Pandas. So go down, and now let's make use of it. So it's pd.dataframe. Okay, and now what we need to do is the following. We work with a dictionary. That means we have a key and a value pair. The key is the column name, and the value is actually the list with all the results. Okay, so the logic will look like this. We have a table, we have a column, okay, and the column is right now this coin name, okay, and inside this column we have all our 100 results. Okay, that's it. That means here as the value we have to append or to mention the name list, which is this one here. Okay, this is actually the logic. So this is number one. Number two is the price. Okay, here we have the price. Number three is, let me check. Number three is the change of 1 hour. So change_1 hour. And the list is this one, change_1 hour. Makes sense. Next one is the change of 24 hours. Change 24 hours, and the value is this list here. Okay, next one, we have change of 7 days, change_7 days, and we use this list here. Okay, now the volume of 24 hours, volume_24 hours, and the value is actually this list here. Okay, now every time I use the values here, I actually refer to this new created lists with all our results. That's it. So volume 24 hours, and the last one is the market cap. Okay, market cap, the value is the market cap. That's it. This should work right now. Let's see. Okay, and it does. We don't have an error message. Now let's print out the data frame. So it's output of data frame crypto df, because this is actually the name or our variable. Okay, let's run the cell. And voila, you see that now we have 100 different rows, okay, with all the data we want to grab. So actually this is it. Okay, we have the coin, price, change, 1 hour, change, 24 hours, 7 days, volume 24 hours, and the market capitalization. So this is actually it for the first example. And what I can do right now is I can store everything inside an Excel file. So let's go ahead and do this. So crypto_df.to_Excel. And now I need to provide a name. Let's say single_page_crypto. So crypto.xlsx. Okay, and the index here is actually false. That's it. Let's run the cell. And now make sure that actually you open the folder where this notebook is actually stored. Okay, so either you have this overview here inside your Jupyter notebook, or you open the correct folder. Let me just do this. So 1 second. It's, for my example, it will be this file here. Okay, so this is my folder, this is my file. Double click on this Excel file, and you see here that now we have successfully access to all this data here. Okay, this was actually the example for the first page, and now let's go ahead and do the same, but not just for 1 page, but for 10 pages. So our result here is to get 1000 results, okay, instead of 100, because every page has 100 results. We want to scrape 10 pages in order to get 1000 results, and this is what we want to do right now after I take my drink. So now let's proceed. And here actually this is the second part, the pagination part. And actually we have done almost everything here. The only difference is that we need to take a look how this URL or how this link is actually working. So here we have this first page, right? And this is actually displayed when we make access, or when we access this link here, correct? Now let's take a look what changes inside this link if we click on page number 2. Let's see. And voila, you see that now we have this text element, page number 2. Now let's say we want to get to page number 8. Okay, so let's replace number 2 with number 8. Let's see what happens. And this looks good. This is page number 8. You see it, it's highlighted lightly in gray. Okay. And let's say I want to go back to number 1 and replace number 8 with number 1. Let's see. And this is actually our initial page. So scroll down, you see that number 1 is right now highlighted. This is a very, very valuable, okay, because now we just know that everything is the same except this number here. And that means we can create a new for loop, okay, and use an iteration variable which changes with every iteration. This is the logic. So let's just copy this link back to the Jupyter notebook, and now I want to provide this link here inside one variable. Can just use the same one. Let's say this is the website variable, and here inside the quotes I want to store this link. That's it. So this is actually the first part. And guys, if you separate, for example, this project, okay, let's say number 1 is scraping data from 1 page, and number 2, like in this project, we want to scrape the data from multiple pages. You have to keep in mind that this is actually something completely separate, okay? So that means here inside this cell, I want to start, let's say, from scratch, okay? I need to make, so the imports are okay the same for this whole project, but for each and every website I need to make a new request. Okay, I need to make a new soup object, because here we just have made the request for the first page. Okay, and the soup object was also created just for the first page. But since now we want to scrape multiple pages, we have to make this request and the soup object for each and every page we want to extract the data from. Okay, I hope this makes sense. If not, please let me know in the comment section and I will try to explain it in a different way. But for now, what I want to do is, again, I want to and you will see right now there will be a lot of copy paste, because the main work is already done. We just need to do a few modifications. Okay, and I would say just be with me and this will make all sense, I promise you. So here I will just copy all these empty lists, go back down, paste it here. Okay, this is our first step. Then the next step is the following. We need to decide how many pages we want to get the data from. And in our example, as I told you, I want to have the data from 10 websites, from 10 pages, not websites. This is always the same website, coingecko.com. The only difference is I want to get access to 10 pages, okay? Same website, 10 different pages. That's it. That means we can use the range function of Python. So for I in range, we start with number 1 and we go until 11, because if you write it this way, for I in range 1, 11, number 11 is actually excluded. Okay, keep this in mind, this is very important. And now what we need to do is the following. Here we have the static link, okay, but actually we know that the only difference between page number 1 and any kind of a different page, let's say page number 8 or also number 2, is that this is the only element what changes if we go to a different page. That means I can just remove this number. Okay, then I proceed with plus, and here I want to use the iteration variable, but I need to cast it inside a string element. Okay, again, let's say let's say instead of this I have number 5. Okay, number 5 is right now stored inside a string. Now we can concatenate this part here with this part. Okay, so here we have two string elements. Okay, string element number 1, string element number 2, and with this simple plus sign we can just combine the string elements. And the logic behind this one is we start with number 1, okay, and in the next iteration we have number 2. Okay, now we get access to the second page, then to the third one, to number 4, number 5, all the way up until number 10, because again number 11 is excluded. Okay, now if we have access to this website, let's just provide one comment here. After we have accessed this website, what we need to do is we need to make a request. Okay, so request to website. That means again I want to store the results inside this response variable. Response equals to requests.get. Here I want to get access to this particular website, and afterwards I again need to create the soup object. So it's a soup object, okay, and soup equals to beautiful soup. And actually we can save some time and make life easier if we just scroll up. I don't know why I didn't do it directly in the first place. I can just copy this expression, go back all the way down, okay, paste it here, okay, this one, and now this should be actually fine. Then when we have successfully made our request, when we have created our soup object, we need to store all the results inside this results variable, which is this one. Okay, copy that, back all the way down. And here I just want to provide another comment. So this is the results. All right. So after we have stored all the results or all the rows inside this variable here, what we want to do again is to loop through all the results and to append the data inside this empty list. So you see, actually the logic is the same what we have done here, except the fact that now we have 10 pages and not just one page. Okay, and that's it. So let me just scroll up and copy all this stuff here. Okay, copy that, scroll back down, and here I want just to paste it. And now let's take a look at the indentation. Okay, so the indentation failed, but it's not a big deal. So you see here we have this for loop, and then everything which comes inside this for loop we have made an indent here, and the same applies for the next for loop. Here we have the for loop, that means everything what comes next needs to be indented. So you can highlight it, shift, and this is fine. All right, so next what I need to do is I need just to run the cell, and let's see if we get what we want. Okay, run it, and maybe we should wait right now because now we have 10 different pages to scrape and not just one page. And if this takes too long, I can also pause the video because I don't want to waste your time. But now let's say I will count until 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay guys, I will pause the, okay, no need to pause. It was faster than my talk, and actually we have successfully grabbed the data. So let's make a cross check and let's see if this works. For example here, let's check the length of the name. Okay, so it's actually this list here. Okay, let's run it, and voila, now we don't have 100 elements, but we have 1000. Same for, let's say, for the price. Okay, it's the same, 1000 entries. And this is actually a very good sign. Okay, so now we have this 7 new lists filled up with the necessary data. And now we can again scroll up and copy this part for the data frame. Copy that, scroll all the way down, paste it here. Let's run the cell. And now let's print out everything again. So it's crypto df. And voila, you see that now we have 1000 results. Not 100, but 1000. And for example, here we have a lot of more pages. Okay, you see it here, we have a lot more pages. The only difference here is right now, if you say, okay, 10 pages are not enough, go ahead and change this range function here. So instead of 11, go ahead and replace this number with a different one. That's it. Okay, so now this also looks fine. And finally, again, we can store everything inside an Excel file. And even this line, if, yeah, let's say we are lazy today, we can just copy this line here, paste it, copy it, paste it here. And instead of a single page, I want to name it as multiple page crypto. Okay, that's it. So here again, we save this data frame inside the Excel file. This is why we have to make use of this to Excel function. This is our name. This is the Excel extension, and we want to ignore the index. That's it. Let's run the cell. This looks good. Open the folder, and this is actually the file which was created a few seconds ago. Double click, and voila, now we have all the necessary data. So let me just take a look. Okay, my Excel seems still to have a bug, but I need to fix it afterwards. For now, we have all the seven data points for, let's see, for 1000 rows. Okay, so you see we have a bunch of data, and this is actually what we wanted to have. Okay, so here, this is all the data. Alright, so this is actually everything for this video. Thank you very much for your attention, for your trust, and if you have any kind of questions, please let me know. I'm here to help, and I wish you all the best, stay safe, and I see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.